Hello there and a very good morning. It's Monday, the 16th of June 2025 and you are with me, Zulfick Farzan, on the Breakfast Rundown by Newsfirst. Today is an important day for Sri Lanka's economic landscape as an important conference, Sri Lanka's Road to Recovery, Debt and Governance, is set to take place in Colombo. Now this conference will be attended by the Sri Lankan President, Anurakumara Dissanayake, the Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, as well as the keynote speaker, Dr. Geetha Gopinath, the first Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund. Now, yesterday, Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, met with Dr. Geetha Gopinath, the first Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, and Dr. Krishna Srinivasan, the Director of the IMF's Asia and Pacific Department, ahead of the pivotal conference, Sri Lanka's Road to Recovery, Debt and Governance, set to take place today morning. Now, the high-level delegation from the IMF, including other senior officials, were received at the Central Bank headquarters in Colombo. Now, the conference is jointly hosted by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the Ministry of Finance and the International Monetary Fund, and is set to take place today and will spotlight Sri Lanka's path to economic stability and sustainable growth. Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe during this meeting has emphasized the IMF's instrumental role in Sri Lanka's recovery from its recent economic crisis. He credited the partnership with the IMF for helping establish robust macroeconomic fundamentals which are vital for long-term stability and inclusive development. This visit is particularly historic, making it the first time in almost 2 decades that a serving first Deputy Managing Director of the IMF is visiting Sri Lanka. Now, the visit also coincides with the 75th anniversary of the IMF's engagement with Sri Lanka, a relationship that began with the founding of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Now, at the same time, something important is happening today and it's going to be affecting the entire country. That is the election of the mayor for the Colombo Municipal Council. The newly elected Colombo Municipal Council will convene its inaugural session this morning at 9:30 a.m. at Town Hall, with the primary agenda of electing a new mayor and deputy mayor. The session will be presided over by Municipal Commissioner Palitha Nanayakara and comes after a tightly contested local government election which no single party secured a majority. The mayoral race has narrowed 2 key contenders, that's Rai Kali Balthasar, representing the National People's Power, and Riza Zaruk, backed by the Samaga Janabala Vegya and a coalition of opposition parties. The NPP emerged as the largest bloc with 48 seats but fell short of the 59 majority required in the 117-member council. The SJB won 29 seats, the UNP 13 seats, SLPP 5 seats, and SLMC secured 4 seats. Now, the outcome of today's vote is expected to be a bellwether of national politics, with Colombo's mayoral post seen as the most influential among the 339 local bodies elected in May. At the same time, the high-level committee of inquiry investigating allegations of gross abuse of power by suspended Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Tennakon will commence daily hearings starting today. The committee, chaired by Supreme Court Justice P.P. Sirasa, includes Justice W.M.N.P. Iddavela and National Police Commission Chairman E.W.M. Lalit Ekanayaka. Now, this follows a series of preliminary sessions and the submission of affidavits by the Attorney General's Department, with formal hearings underway. The inquiry comes from serious allegations of misconduct during Tennakon's tenure, prompting Parliament to pass a resolution under the Removal of Officers Procedure Act No. 5 of 2002. IGP Tennakon is expected to appear before the committee at 9:30 a.m. today, continuing a process that began with his initial appearance in May this year. The Attorney General's Department, represented by senior legal officers, has already submitted key evidence, while Tennakon's legal team has made presentations to the committee as well. At the same time, the Election Commission says that the names of 2,400 local government candidates who failed to submit their income and expenditure reports will be forwarded to the Sri Lanka Police for legal action. Chairman RMAL Ratnayakar told that the police will proceed with further steps based on the advice of the Attorney General. According to the Commission, 7,690 candidates have submitted their financial reports as required. However, the Commission is yet to receive the income and expenditure reports of 223 elected members. In the local government elections held on the 6th of May, the NPP secured a majority of the local government institutions. Now, if you are heading to Colombo and if you are using Bauda Lokamawata, this is going to be important for you. Vehicular movement along Bauda Lokamawata near Tumula Junction in Colombo faced significant disruption this morning due to a fallen tree. The incident occurred amid strong wind conditions, which caused the tree to collapse onto the roadway, obstructing traffic. Emergency response teams from the Fire and Rescue Department were promptly dispatched to the scene. According to the Fire Department, efforts are underway to remove the fallen tree and restore normal traffic flow. Motorists are advised to use alternative routes until the road is cleared. At the same time, you are aware that Sri Lanka is also a part of the United Nations peacekeeping missions across the world. Now, one of those places is the Central African Republic, commonly known as CAR. The Sri Lanka Air Force deployed its first ever aeromedical evacuation team, or AMET, to the United Nations peacekeeping mission on the 14th of June in the Central African Republic. Now, the team comprises of 6 medical personnel, including 2 officers and 4 airmen, who will undertake aeromedical evacuation duties in support of ongoing UN operations. The AMET, led by Group Captain GSS Pereira, made a formal courtesy call on the commander of the Air Force, Air Marshal Bandhu Edivasinghe, prior to their departure. During the meeting, the commander extended his best wishes to the team and emphasized the significance of their role in enhancing Sri Lanka Air Force's contribution to international peacekeeping efforts. Now, the Met Department is saying that due to the effect of the active southwest monsoon condition, the sea areas of the coast extending Putlam to Murithu, Mana and Kankasanture will be rough at times. The Met Department advises naval and fishing communities not to venture into these sea areas until further notice. It also adds that showers will be experienced in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, southern and northwestern provinces as well. Now, the Met Department is also saying that fairly heavy falls of 50 millimeters or above will be likely at some places in the western Sabaragamuwa provinces and also in the Nuwara Eliya, Kandy, Galle and Matara districts. In addition, the northern province and the Anuradhapura district will also experience some showery conditions, and the wind speeds are expected to be 40 to 50 kilometers per hour over the western slopes of the Central Hills and in the north central, western Sabaragamuwa, southern and northwestern provinces, as well as in the Trincomalee district. Now, something happening overseas. Now, since last Friday, both Iran and Israel have been exchanging fire using missiles and airstrikes, resulting in multiple fatalities, including some top commanders in Iran as well. Now, an interesting story has come out from US media outlets. US President Donald Trump has rejected an Israeli plan to kill Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, according to multiple media outlets. Israeli officials had informed the Trump administration that they had an opportunity to assassinate Khamenei in recent days, but the US president blocked the plan. Now, the Reuters news agency reported, citing 2 unnamed US officials. Now, Reuters quoted an unnamed Trump administration as saying officials are not even talking about going after the political leadership. Multiple other outlets, including CNN, the Associated Press, CBS News and NBC News, confirmed the plan and Trump's opposition to this proposal. Now, Iran's Fars news agency reported that the districts of Narmak and Lavizan in the Iranian capital have been targeted by airstrikes. There were no immediate reports on casualties. Now, at the same time, Iranian media also said that they brought down almost 5 F-35 fighter jets operated by Israel over the weekend. The death toll in Iran has risen to 222, including 70 women and children. The intelligence chief of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC, and 2 other generals were also killed in airstrikes on Sunday. Now, sirens have sounded in the occupied Palestinian territories as Iran fired a barrage of ballistic missiles at Israeli targets in response to Zionist regime's aggression. Iran's new wave of retaliatory missile strikes began on Sunday evening and continued until early this morning Sri Lankan time. Now, reports are suggesting that at least 50 ballistic missiles have been launched by Iran. A spokesperson for the Iranian armed forces issued a stark warning to Zionists, urging them to leave the occupied Palestinian territories as no part of the region would remain safe for them. Now, the spokesperson for the communications center of the General Staff of the Armed Forces on Sunday said the scope of the devastating response by Iran's warriors will encompass all areas of the occupied territories. Residents of these territories must take issue with the warning seriously and evacuate these regions, quote unquote. Now, at the same time, although Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion airport remains closed to international flights, Sri Lankans can still travel to Israel through alternative routes, according to Sri Lanka's ambassador to Israel, Nimal Bandara. Ambassador Bandara stated that during a recent meeting with foreign diplomats, Israel's foreign minister confirmed that entry to the country is still possible via land routes from neighboring Jordan and Egypt. Travelers can fly to Amman in Jordan and Cairo in Egypt and proceed to Israel by land. Now, the Israeli foreign minister had noted that there is currently no confirmed date for the reopening of the Ben Gurion airport for international travel. Now, Sri Lankans planning to travel to Israel are advised to coordinate with relevant authorities and consider these alternative routes until further notice. At the same time, the deputy head of the Embassy of Sri Lanka in Israel, Hemant Ekanayake, and Ambassador Nimal Bandara had visited 2 Sri Lankans who were injured in the Iranian missile attacks in Bat-Yam and Ramat Gan in Israel. Now, this is a developing story we at Newsfirst are following, so stay with us as we bring you all the latest details as and when they happen. And that brings an end to this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown with me, Zulfick Farzan. But if you want to keep yourself updated with all the stories that we brought you this morning, follow us on our social media handles on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok as well. And don't forget to subscribe to our WhatsApp channel and other messaging platforms to immediately receive those messages to your palm-held devices. And at the same time, stay tuned with Newsfirst as we will bring you the developments from the most important conference taking place today. That's the Sri Lanka's Road to Recovery, Debt and Governance, organized by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka and the International Monetary Fund. Until I see you again next time, take care and stay safe.